the earliest days of humanity, we've held a deep fascination with the sky and stars above us. In the early 20th century, humanity took its first fleeting steps into the void of space, and after a few, often fatal, missteps, they finally returned to the stars in the later part of the 21st century. Now, almost 100 years later, humanity has finally started to expand from their blue-green home in a backwater solar system to seed the planets and moons in their local system, with the intent to one day push further onward.
I bet every volunteer feels like they hear those words no less than 1,000,000 times over the 2-year training program. To make it worse, you hear it again for another 6 months while in transit to Mars. My question still remains, why do historians always romanticize everything? Humans effectively strapped bombs to their chair and flung themselves out of the atmosphere. It just so happened that we knew enough math to mostly aim where we were trying to go. But at the end of the day, this is what they were doing. Riding bombs. What's even better is that now they've somehow convinced me to do the same thing. Granted, the rockets are much safer this time around, but they're still effectively bombs. Alright, systems check. Let's run our quick diagnostic, make sure everything survived re-entry fine. Hey, they remembered to not pressurize and fill the fuel tanks on the escape vehicle. That's good. Let's make sure that the fuel's actually there, though. Alright, fuel levels look good. We're not going to transfer now. Go ahead and shut this down. And it's time to disembark. Oh crap. Even in the future things don't work. Funny how when this was all still new and we were trying to figure things out better, the human mind continued to come back to the worst case scenarios. Like that popular story in the early 2000s about a lone pilot trapped here on Mars. Guess looking back on it, it's not quite so funny seeing how I'm in a similar situation. Well, not because of some impossible weather, bad luck, or even foul play, but simply because I chose to do it. Okay, I'm not really trapped, but, you know, I do have a place to live, and if the supply drops survive the descent, I should have enough rations until I can get the supply production online. But honestly, it doesn't make me feel any less trapped for some reason.